Hey, this is Amanda Mensing-Diggs, aka Amanda Monroe, and you are drinking at Moe's.
This is Drinkin at Mo's, where we talk about the pros of pro wrestling in the Midwest while sipping on some brews with blessed beers and wrestling. That's my scene. Death matches and lucha libre, it's also mean. I'm a straight up smart goofball, not no kiss ass. I stand tall when it comes to wrestling. I'm the king. I know every move, every fling. Get ready for a wild time with Drinkin at Mo's, where we don't quit. Drinkin at Mo's, that's where it's at, like a power bomb. We hit hard, never flat. Fucking right, we're living the dream. Talking about wrestling, always a scream.
You know, I've always said here at Drinkinatmos, just because it says drinking at Moe's does not mean it has to be alcoholic. So I'm happy to say Drinking at Moe's is sponsored by Prince Nana Coffee, the, the exact same guy you see every week on Dynamite, on Collision. Yes, he has his own coffee, and it's freaking delicious. They don't even roast those beans until you've placed your order. And you might be telling me, hey, Big Mo, I'm more of a tea guy. They got you covered there too. Use the referral link in the description of this video. And let's get you dancing like Prince Nana with Prince Nana Coffee. All right, everybody, welcome. Drinking at Mo's. Big Mo here. You know the drill. YouTube, like, subscribe, share, comment, all of that good stuff everybody always says, because YouTube's algorithm is a pain in the ass. Where most places you can find the audio podcast too. Don't forget about those. Today, I'm excited to have with me somebody that they've worn quite a few hats in the wrestling business. Referee, and heck, they even got their own thing going up there right now with New Sound Wrestling up in the Dakotas area. Amanda Mensing-Diggs, how you doing?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
Oh, I can't complain too much. I every now and then I get to sit down here and admire my stuff.
All your fantastic Funkos.
Oh yeah, I've got some good ones. I've
Hey,
got some good ones that I've actually gotten signed by people.
me too.
I've uh the O Comic Con down here.
Hmm.
Well, the year that I actually got sold on going, it's always been pro wrestling and Ninja Turtles for me. That's been the year I got sold on it, they had the voice of Michelangelo from the original
Ooh,
cartoon,
ooh,
my favorite Ninja Turtle, and then the voice behind Splinter from the first two movies.
wow, that's awesome.
And I have, if I can grab them both at the same time, Funko signed by both of them.
That's awesome. I
And
think my most treasured Funko that I have um, is I was a Power Rangers girl growing up,
oh yeah,
and I absolutely love Tommy.
ah,
He was my very first celebrity crush.
okay,
And about 2 months before he passed away, he was at a comic book store here in Sioux Falls,
no
and
kidding.
I got him to sign my Funko Pop of him.
Funny enough, one of my other ones, bam.
Hey, that's so awesome.
I think he was down here in Omaha, like right shortly before he
He
was up
was.
there.
Yes. Yeah, he like a day or two before. Oh,
Yeah.
that's awesome. Yeah, my friend came with me and she has never seen me fangirl so hard as when I was like right in front of him. I'm like, I've loved this guy for like 20 plus years. So yeah,
Oh,
it was amazing.
oh yeah. And the thing that I'll definitely admire about him before we get into some wrestling stuff, because I mean that's a large part of what we're here for, but I do
Yes.
enjoy talking about outside stuff. But when I was there, they had, you could get either your picture with them for one price, something signed for another, or the combo.
Mm-hmm.
And well, I was like, well, crap, I was running a little tight on money at the time. So I'm like, I'll just get the thing signed. That's what I'm here for, anyways. And
Yep.
well, he was like, no, you're getting the picture. And I got the picture for free.
That's amazing.
He
That is
even,
so
I don't
cool.
know, he probably did it the same with people when you met him, but he literally held it like the
Yup.
North thing.
Yep. I have a picture with him doing that too.
Yep, I got one on, I think, both my personal and the Drinkin at Mo's pages.
Oh,
I
that's
got,
awesome.
oh man, yeah,
He
it
was
was,
so nice. Such a nice guy.
oh, totally. And yeah, it definitely caught me off guard when the news broke very shortly after. It was like,
Me too.
wait, what?
I cried. I cried. I don't usually cry for a lot of celebrities, but he was one.
Yeah, you know, like I said, it was always pro wrestling and Ninja Turtles for me, but I came close with Tommy. Although
Hmm.
I will say the one celebrity that relatively recently was actually Bray Wyatt
Yes.
because he was at the time he passed very close in age to myself,
Yeah.
and the way that he passed, it was like, whoa,
Yeah. And he had just been in the ring, what, a few months before that. So you're
yeah,
not thinking like anything's going to happen. And then all of
yeah.
a sudden they break the news like that. It's like, what? What happened?
One of
Like,
those things where you hear somebody else talk about it, then you're like, you go on social media to see it yourself, and then you're
yeah.
like, if it gets reported by like a legit news place, then I'll, well, when on social media it was Triple H's pages that was
Hmm.
breaking the news, I'm like, oh shit.
That's when you know. Yeah. That's when you know. It's like, oh gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, for wrestling, yeah, when Triple H or whoever in management is breaking that news, it's like, oh.
Yeah. Yeah. Definitely.
But speaking of more wrestling stuff, the first thing that I like to ask everybody when they first come on is what got you started as a fan, and then what got you decided to make that leap into the business.
Oh man. So it's a multi-year story. I had seen wrestling a little bit on TV at my aunt's house when I was growing up. So I knew what it was, but I didn't pay a lot of attention to it. So about 2001 is when I started just kind of being more and more of a fan. And then I know a lot of people probably will say this, but the match that got me was, I think it was, is it WrestleMania 17, when it was the ladder match with the tag teams and
Oh yeah,
Edge speared Jeff Hardy off the ladder. That moment, everything hit. I was a couple years ago, I met Jeff Hardy and I got to tell him that. So, like, that meant a lot to me. But that was like the moment where I'm like, okay, this is really cool. So, like, fast forward, a few years, and back in 2016, I was in Sioux Falls again, still a wrestling fan. And a friend of mine, Chris Tubbs, I keep calling him out in every interview that I do because he is the main reason why I got kind of involved in independent world. He had asked me, he was working for a radio station, and he's like, "We're going to bring in Nick Dinsmore to do an interview with, and I would love if you want to come in and meet him." And I'm thinking like Dinsmore is the guy that, like, Eugene, for those who
yeah,
don't know, he was on when I first really started watching in like 2001, 2002, somewhere there. I'm like, of course I want to meet him. Like,
yeah,
I,
yeah.
yes. So I did. And very, very chill, very nice guy. He happened to be moving to Sioux Falls because his then wife was from Laverne, which is right around the place where I grew up. Um, and he's like, there's not really anything for pro wrestling up here. And I kind of want to, come up here and, maybe start a company. And I told him, I said, you start a company, I will be at every one of your shows, which was kind of a lie because I missed the first one. But I went to the second one, and it was I had been to WWE shows before, but this was my first independent one. And first show, it hooked me, absolutely hooked me. Um, a couple years in from going to these shows, we had one of our wrestlers who ended up breaking his neck, ended up in the hospital. The next month, Dinsmore said, we're going to do auction for him. Cool. One of the things that was being auctioned was a free semester of training. And I was like, nah, I'm not going to get it, but I'm going to go in for it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. So I ended up winning it.
Nice.
At that point, I was like, okay, so this was like 2017, 2018, somewhere in there. So I did a semester and I learned what it was like to really get in the ring and do that. And it is not easy. Holy cow. Like
No, yeah,
you're coming in there in your mid 30s, and it's just like my 30-year-old body's not supposed to be doing this stuff.
yeah.
Um, I loved it, but after a while, it's like I had to stop because I just didn't have money for it anymore. 2019 rolls around. I was in the middle of a divorce at that time, and I said I need something. I asked Dinsmore, I'm like, can I come back? I don't want to like wrestle really. I'm like, I would love to be a referee for you, if you would let me do that. He was just super, super cool about it. He's like, absolutely, you can come in, you can do your referee thing. Um, and then so I started doing that, started to be a referee. One of the things that I preached for years is never date a wrestler. I did not listen to my own advice because I married one. Um, but right around 2020 is when DeLorean, my husband, and I started dating. And then I kind of morphed into becoming his manager. So we did that for a while. And then Dinsmore ended up moving down to Florida. You can tell he was my coach because we always call him Dinsmore. So he ended up moving down to Florida, which I believe he is still there to this day.
I
Um,
believe so. Yeah, last I
yeah.
heard.
So we had a couple of people kind of like handling the company and kind of doing some things, but then they got busy and things just kind of fell, by the wayside. So myself, DeLorean, and a couple of our friends were like, maybe we could do this. Like, it's probably crazy, but if we don't do it, we're not going to have wrestling in this town. And there is a market for it if we can find it. So, 2 years ago, 2024.
Yeah,
Um,
I was gonna say that was about the time I saw that first show.
yes. So 2024, March 2024 was our first show. And we made it just a free show. And I was like, maybe 10 people will show up to this. And it was in a bar in Valley Springs, South Dakota. We filled that bar up. I mean, there were people in the hallways because they couldn't get in. And that was my first thought of, oh my gosh, we could do this. So fast forward 2 years. Right now, it's just me and DeLorean, who are running it now. And we're doing about six-ish shows a year. We definitely want to do a couple more this summer with companies as we're kind of getting our name out there more. Um, but yeah, I still think I'm absolutely crazy for doing this. Um, my poor husband on show weeks, I am like a mess. Show days are even worse. But then like at the end of it and the show's done and you see all these people, that you're bringing in, most of them you don't even know. It's just like all of a sudden you've got this other family and you've got like these fans that really come in and they love what you're doing, and it just means so much. So as hard as it is and as frustrating as it is sometimes, it's just really fun to be able to see all these fans and to give them that opportunity to go to something like this, whereas Omaha, Fargo are the only ones close. So yeah, it's been a really cool journey. um I never would have seen this for myself when I first started watching wrestling, for sure.
So yeah, heck, I could say the same thing for myself with the podcast. It's like, you know, if you would have told me back, heck, when I was still in the Navy out in Southern California, where I actually got my start watching independent wrestling, if you would have told me that fast forward to this time that I would be talking, like I've had people that have main evented in like the Tokyo Dome and Corrigan Hall and in Mexico, the UK and Germany, and freaking one of my earliest big episodes was actually for it was during a fan fest for Warrior Wrestling that I had talked about a little bit. And I got invited down. They were in St. Louis at the
Okay.
time, and there was a whole bunch of. I was right across the aisle from Mike Bennett, which love that dude.
He is amazing.
He is such an amazing dude. I actually, at one point, I ran into him about 5 or 6 times within the span of a year. And one of the last times that year, I joked with him, "Man, we got to quit running into each other like this." And oh god, Lance Archer was down the aisle a ways, and right next to him was, well, he was Jonah at the time, but Bronson Reed.
Yes.
And then a couple people away from him was Jeff Cobb. And then right next to him was Athena. And
Oh my gosh.
it was like, holy crap. And I remember I hadn't even been in probably my first 50 episodes. I walked up to Bronson Reed. I'll just call him by the name he goes by now. But I walked up to him the entire time in my head thinking, there ain't no way in hell he's going to want to do my little thing. Boom. He gave me a time from right when the Fan Fest ended to when he absolutely had to go to the back. And
That's
I'm just like, holy shit, this is actually happening. And
I
yeah,
think I think that's one of my favorite parts about wrestling is, same for me. Like I've had so many moments where I'm just like, oh shit. I think like the thing that just pops into my brain, actually I have two, but anyway, I did a promo, and speaking of Mike Bennett, I did a promo in front of Maria.
oh, I love her.
Just off the cuff, because I was doing a seminar with Matt and Maria, and I was like, I'm gonna go in here and I'm gonna go, I'm just off the cuff gonna say something. Went in there, cut a promo, and she looked at me and she goes, "You had me from the second you started talking." And I'm like, what? What? It was yeah, you just have those moments where I'm like, holy cow. You can't believe like the kind of situation you put yourself in.
Oh yeah. And with her, I actually got an interesting thing with her because I had commented on some posts about her and Mike's podcast that they do, and mentioned about, well, my now 13-month-old son. She actually posted a screenshot of the comment and posted it on her story. And now I'm not saying like, oh, we talk every day. I mean, I don't even think she's responded since, but she actually follows my show's Instagram.
That's awesome.
That was like, what? Okay. Like anytime anybody of that stature does something like that, like we talked about Bray Wyatt a little bit ago when I had Dutch on from The Righteous. I wasn't aware at the time of the friendship that he had with Bray Wyatt until I went and posted about the episode. It was either I released it or that I had recorded with them. I'm on my way home from work, and all of a sudden I get this Twitter alert, and I didn't recognize the little picture.
Yeah.
I checked it at a stoplight, and I about dropped my phone because it was Bray Wyatt.
Holy cow.
Yeah.
I would have lost it right there.
There was one. Okay, we talk about meeting wrestlers before we get into some more new sound stuff, because I am meaning to get up to a show for
We
you
will
guys
get
here
there.
soon. But I about had a freak out moment in the middle of freaking Disney World because of a wrestler that I damn near bumped into. I came within like a foot of actually bumping into him. But I bent down to like tie my shoe or something. As I'm coming back up, I start seeing these tattoos on the guy's, I think with the left arm, and I look up and I'm like, oh, the T-Rex skull on Kevin Owens.
Yes.
He was literally like a foot from me. I'm like,
mm-hmm.
But he was with his family in the middle of the park, and I don't know who the hell is Give me a second here.
Oh, she flipped. There we go.
There we go. All right, somebody was trying to call me, but heck with it. But yeah, in the middle of the park, and I was just like, yeah, if we were in the parking lot, maybe I'd say
Maybe.
something, but we were in the middle of the park, and I'm like, that's just no,
I'm
no.
the same way. It's like I would freak out, but at the same time, it's like I don't want to bother you when you're with your family. That's why people who will bother wrestlers at airports and hotels drive
So
me
that drives me nuts.
I'm like, yes, they're awesome. It's one thing if you want to like wait like in the back parking lot or whatever when they're coming into like the arena, that's one thing. But when you're like specifically trying to seek them out places, I'm like,
Yeah, I mean, it's one thing if you just happen to be staying at the same hotel. That's whatever. I mean,
yes,
but yeah, to just wander into the hotel and hang out in the lobby, that's a little nuts.
it's that's too stalkerish for me.
Yeah, a little bit.
Yes.
But getting into some new sound stuff, you kind of already went over like where the ideas came from, but I've been noticing a lot of great young and great talent from all over the Midwest mixing in with periodic, TV names that I've been seeing. Like I know Supermania, there was a few.
There was a few. Uh Danhausen.
But Dan, oh, dude, I actually one of my signed figures up there is from him.
Yes. Danhausen, absolutely, absolutely amazing. Um, he was he was there, he was at SuperCon with his wife because his wife is a burlesque dancer. God bless her. She was doing her burlesque show like 3 months after she gave birth. And
Yeah,
like
that was like wow.
she is absolutely amazing. Just so, so sweet. Um, but yeah, Danhausen was great. Actually, what he did was he we had a big sign, for the guests or whatever. He signed it and he gave it to us, and he's like, you guys can do whatever you want with it. So now we have this huge sign that Danhausen signed. So that was, yeah, that was pretty amazing. I could not have asked for a better show. I mean, again, we've had names come in, um, over the last year, and I'm like, I could not have imagined being so close to so many of these guys. It's amazing.
Oh yeah, like I know JTG. I mean, I saw him, and I I never actually got to meet him, but I know Matt Cross. I saw him come
Yep.
up, and I wanted to say I saw him doing some stuff with Lucha Underground. I might be mistaken there. It was either that or Wrestling Society X. I knew it was at least one of the two, but
Yeah.
I remember I've been lucky enough to Lucha Underground. I've had quite a few people come from there on the show, which I mean, talk about me fanboying out a little bit. I mean, yeah.
Yeah, and DeLorean has specifically asked the past 2 years to wrestle Matt Cross because they get along so well. And we were driving him to his hotel, and he just starts nonchalantly talking about all these wrestlers that he has in his phone. He's like, "Oh yeah," he's like, "I got Orton's number in here and like Punk's number in here," and I'm just like, "Be quiet, I'm fangirling enough." So again, he's a super down to earth, very nice guy. I forgot to mention at Supermania too, we had Arn and Brock Anderson
Oh man,
also.
going
And
going back in the day to when I first started watching wrestling, when WWE was still syndicated, and the most consistent thing was WCW Saturday Night with the
yes,
Horsemen and stuff.
yes, yeah, very. He was also him and his son were both very nice, very down to earth. But yeah, I mean, you get to be kind of in the in the same vicinity as some of these people that you've watched on television. Going back to JTG again, very nice guy. Worked with him a few times between Midwest All Pro and New Sound. So he's great. But yeah, we've had a few people from TV, and I'm very grateful that in just these first 2 years we've had as many names as we've had.
Oh yeah, and for the talent from the area to get to sit under the learning tree of some of these people is just invaluable experience.
Yeah, yeah, it is. And we have a lot of, I'm very happy to say, like, most of the people that we have that are wrestling for us, we've seen them since day one. Like, for example, Brandon Nitro,
Mm.
who is one of my very, very, very good friends, my flower bro in my wedding. Um, I saw him when he first came out when he was the convict Brandon Nitro.
I talked to him about that, and I was telling him about how we talked about some of the groups that he had been a part of, and I'm like, man, you as that going and thinking back to bringing up Bray Wyatt again, you would have fit right in with the damn Wyatt family
Yes.
right there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. So getting to see him from where he started to where he is now and just how he's been able to find what his character is has just been so fun to watch. Alvin Falcone is another one.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh, just those two. I'm like, they need to be signed somewhere already. And Falcone for me, he is such a great talker. I mean, his promos are spot on.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, he's been fun to watch too.
He's really come into his own with the especially the promo work because I remember watching him, when he was first getting on the scene, and like a lot of people, the first little bits that feeling out what's gonna part of your shtick, what's gonna
Mhm.
work, and then once you find it, once you come into your own with it, man, those that really latch onto that, whew,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
something.
yeah.
Now, one thing I did want to talk about because I saw, well, one kind of jealous that you got your garage cleared out enough that you could fit a damn ring in there
Yes.
because Lord knows we with some
Barely.
stuff
Barely.
we can barely fit one car
Yeah.
into ours, but also seeing very shortly after I saw that picture, seeing a picture with somebody that a lot of us know. Some people might know more from his YouTube channel now, but people our age might still remember from when he eliminated the Undertaker from the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
Maven,
Yes.
him doing some stuff with you guys there in. Was that in the garage?
That was in the garage. Now, mind you, that was not my idea to try to put it up in the garage. That would be my husband DeLorean's idea. Because we were trying to find a place and it was just getting down to the wire. And I get a message from him one day while he's at work going, "We're gonna set this up in the garage." I'm like, "We're gonna set it up in the what?" I'm like, "That's not gonna fit." He's like, it's fine. It'll work. I'm like, "Okay, well, this is your thing, it's not mine." And somehow they got it to fit exactly in the ring enough where, because it was probably -10
I
that
was gonna say, yeah, over that time period.
yeah, he blasted a heater in the garage and closed the door. They got the ring set up, and you would never guess it was that cold outside because of how warm the garage was. I don't know
Wow.
how we did it by some miracle. um, but it worked. I mean, you opened up the door to our garage and you could just step right into the ring. That's how tight it was in there.
Wow.
Yeah. It was a tight fit, but the taping went great. Everything went the way it should, and I was really glad.
Yeah, because there's always those little things that can happen, those that could just sometimes maybe remain little things and not get as noticeable. But then there's other times where it becomes very noticeable.
Yes. So I'm really excited for that video to come out. Maven is just the nicest, most appreciative guy. He thanked me, I don't even know how many times, for letting him and Zach use my house and the garage. And he didn't realize we set it up just for him. He's like, "You guys did." I'm like, "Don't worry about it. It's fine." And then I was telling him I was so worried about it all day. He's like, "I'm so sorry you were worried." I'm like, "No, you don't see me on show days. This is nothing." Um, but I'm still like, "Oh my gosh, Maven was in my house." Because yeah, I remember him winning Tough Enough the
No, yeah,
first
I
season.
remember watching that season, and then I forget whose post, whether it was one of Maven's on. It was still on YouTube. I forget if it was Maven's channel or if it was Chris Van Vliet, but it was about. I think it was a GIF of that moment that he eliminated the Undertaker,
Mhm.
and I'm like, I commented because I couldn't help it because I remember watching it back. I'm like, you were never technically thrown over the top rope.
Eh,
You're like technically the longest person ever
in
in
a
the
rumble.
Royal Rumble, like however many freaking years ago that it's been.
That's a good point. That is a really good point.
Yeah, I'm like, holy crap. That'd be one thing that I would have to actually tell him about it if I ever actually got to meet him. Like, yeah, how long ago was that now? Oh yeah, so you could definitely say the longest in Royal Rumble. So
However many
number,
years.
then not just minutes or hours, but years.
Yes.
That would just be nuts.
But
Not
yeah,
that not that anybody would actually go for it, but
hey, you never know. No, it was so again, it was so amazing to just have him like in my house at all.
oh
Um,
yeah, no, that would be something that yeah, I would be in the same boat. Do we have an idea of what like obviously don't have to give away anything that happened during the taping, but like
uh-huh.
when abouts that it's coming out?
If I'm understanding correctly, it should be about 2 weeks. So I don't think it'll be this week, it'll be next week.
Okay, so it'll be before the episode comes out, but
Yeah.
still that's wow. I remember when I saw that and I'm like, holy crap, that is so awesome for you guys. Something like that happening.
Yeah. And again, it was just because of the connection that we have with Zach working out below, for below zero in Fargo, for those who don't know,
Oh yeah.
for so many years. And him knowing like, hey, you guys have a wrestling ring. Maven needs a wrestling ring. Can we just come over? Okay.
Hey,
Um, and then he gave us two kendo sticks as he was leaving. And I'm just like, babe, we need him to sign one of those.
oh yeah, totally.
So Maven told us that he would be more than happy to come up to New Sound sometime and he would give us the buddy rate. I'm like, oh God, how much is the buddy rate?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be something.
Yeah.
I told you I'm meaning to get up there.
You
I
need to
know
come here.
I mentioned about the March show, which unfortunately I realized that's gonna be the weekend my sister-in-law and them from Kansas City are gonna be in town, and it's actually her birthday. So I'm like,
Darn Canada.
probably not gonna be able to sneak away for that.
Well, I can tell you we have a June, July, and August show.
Ooh, July
So
birthday month. Maybe I might have
that's
to.
now, do I remember the exact day? No, not without looking at my phone because
It's all good. Yeah, no, that's definitely awesome. I will definitely have to keep that in mind because I have been meaning to. My only thing, it's like the Revolver shows that I've been to.
yeah.
It very similar in length of a drive, and me being as heavy sleep apneic as I am,
Uh,
my wife has said if I don't have anybody going with me, that you're getting a hotel that night. And more often than not, I definitely, at least, especially now with the sun, I try to
yep.
get back in the same night because
Yeah.
I think I mentioned one of the last times you were down, Well, one of the last times I saw you down here in Omaha, that I was like, yeah, I I like the child free evenings, but once the show's over, it's like I'm just itching to get back.
Yes. Well, and we do that with our Omaha, with most of our Omaha trips too. Like we'll just go down there and just come right back. So it's like I want to sleep in my own bed. And we make an exception for that next month for Magnum when they have the 13th and the 14th
Mm,
because somebody is going to be refing at the Friday show.
ah,
And that is actually I haven't announced this on my Amanda Monroe page yet, but February will be my last month roughing
oh,
before I hang up the roughing shoes. Um, it was not an easy decision for me, but with things going on in my personal life over the past couple of months, I kind of sat down and realized I need to figure out what's important to me and what do I have passion for. And I'm trying to sweet talk Nick Stokia below to let me be a manager again, because I miss that. I have not done that since I went into New Sound, and I miss that a lot. But I just decided like being a referee is fine, but it's just not where my passion lies, and I just like I kind of want to just wrap it up.
no, that makes sense. Everybody comes to that point. I know.
Mhm.
Heck, I'll talk about it a little bit after recording because Lord knows I get emotional enough talking about it. But the reason I have this tattoo on my forearm, but the time right after that happened, yeah, I came pretty damn close to stopping the podcast, but then my wife helped out in a managerial role with a haunted house that at least at the time ran. Then I was like, well, crap. I barely saw her during that time.
Yeah.
So I was like, well, crap, I need something. So then I jumped right back into it. And
Hmm.
here I am now. I don't think I've missed a week of at least one episode since that time. And it's been, good Lord, 22, 22. I had to look at the year on my arm. Like
On
I
your
got
arm.
but it's been almost 4 years.
Wow,
I've had
that's awesome.
at least an episode a week.
That's
So
awesome.
it's
Yeah,
been
I
fun.
I feel like you always have to find that thing, and for me, it's like okay, I love managing. As much as I probably don't like to admit it, I love owning this company. And it's like I know people say don't take your work home with you, but me and DeLorean will talk wrestling every single day, even if we're like, oh no, like the next day after a show, we're like, nope, we're not talking about it now. We'll talk about
you,
it.
you end up doing it.
We end up talking about it whether we want to or not. It just ends up being there, which is fine because we wouldn't want it any other way because that's just our thing, and we both get it.
Oh yeah, no, I know at least it's always been more my thing with wrestling. Although I I still till this day I get a laugh out of it. Before I met my wife, I mentioned my parents had talked to me about, do you really think you're going to meet anybody at those shows? I never, I didn't listen to them. And a guy you and I both know, Brandon Juarez, Donnie Pepper Cricket,
Yes, Donnie
he
Donnie.
he mentioned to me about PWP down here, and he was like trying to convince me to go to a show. I hadn't been to one in years, so I was like, you know what? Next show that happens on a day I have off, I'll go.
Yeah.
And then very shortly after I get there, he pulls me aside. It's like, hey, I got somebody I want you to meet. Boom. My now wife was helping work in the merch table,
That's awesome.
and I made him the best man at my wedding.
That's
I
awesome.
told him, you earned it. You helped introduce me to her. And
Exactly.
Chris Metry, the guy that runs PWP, he actually officiated.
Oh, that's fantastic.
And I remember walking up to my dad and being like, I remember when you told me that. Look at me now.
Yep, exactly, exactly. Well, and like I said, D'Lo and I knew each other for a couple of years before we ever started dating, and I think I always say I had a again when I was going through my separation and everything, I'm like I only had two guys that I probably would have maybe dated, and he was not one of them. Um, but somehow it just ended up we were at the same bar at the same time, and we ended up talking for like 2 hours. So you never know.
You never know, but when you know.
Yes, 100%.
For sure. Well, I got two categories here to kind of round stuff off with.
Okay.
One's a bit of a name game where I name off some people and you give me some quick thoughts on them. And I try to theme it towards the guests as much as possible. And
Okay.
each of these people, it's a couple things in common here. They're
Okay.
all powerful women in the world of wrestling.
Okay.
There's, I've actually met all but one,
Okay.
and at least one of these has actually been on the show.
Okay.
And you know what? I'll just start off with that one.
Okay.
Billy Starks.
Ooh, up and comer.
Uh,
Uh, I mean, maybe I shouldn't say necessarily up and comer because she's moving up for sure. But she's a fantastic talent.
oh, yeah.
She really
Oh,
is.
yeah.
She's fun to watch in the ring.
Oh, for sure. I got the fun chance after I had her on to see her in a scramble match at Revolver,
Oh,
which I mean, okay, I've said it. There's a couple independent promotions out there that they know how to do a damn scramble match.
yeah,
Revolver's one of them.
yeah. I could see that.
Next up, somebody kind of tied to Billy Starks
Okay.
in what they got going on right now, but Athena.
Ooh, amazing. Amazing. For a long time, I didn't realize that she was married to Matthew Palmer. Um,
I've actually had him on the show.
that's awesome. But she is a powerhouse when it comes to women's wrestling.
Oh, for sure. And everything that they got going with MPX down there in
Yes.
Texas and all the all women shows that they're running every
Yes.
so often with that. And I've had the great fortune of getting reached out to by Matthew Palmer a few times for some of the big MPX shows about having people come through on. And actually, as of this recording, I actually got one tomorrow.
Oh, amazing.
So it's gonna be fun. I know they got their big the big show that it's for is the Texas Rumble they got going on. I'm loving talking about that because the Royal Rumble type shows are generally some of my favorite shows of any promotion's calendar. So
Yeah,
getting to talk about that with multiple people is just fun.
that's fantastic.
Although I'll, I get on some tangents on the show, but one of my favorite Royal Rumble memories was actually from renting a Royal Rumble from a video store, and it happened to be the one that Jake the Snake chased out Andre the Giant from the Rumble match with the snake, where Andre the
Oh.
Giant walked over and just ran to the back. Oh, gotta love it. Now, next up, uh, somebody I've actually got to meet at World of Wheels of all things, Becky Lynch.
I really hope she's as cool as I think she is.
Oh, from the I can't say that I had a long experience getting to talk with her because World of Wheels you got to cycle
Yep.
people through, but oh yeah, no, there was somebody that actually had, and I think this actually made social media, but there was somebody that had like a medical incident that she actually jumped off of the little stage they had set up to go make sure they were all right.
That holy cow. No, she is obviously like a first ballot Hall of Famer
Oh, for sure.
without question. I mean, she's one of those that, when you saw her up on the stairs with the broken nose, that's one of
Oh,
those,
the blood
and
and
the
just
blood
looking
coming
like
down
an
her nose
absolute
after
badass.
Charlotte Flair. I think it was Charlotte, or was it Nia?
Naya, I think it was Naya.
Naya. After Naya smacked her in the nose so hard it broke it. Like that's one of the moments that is just kind of seared in your memory, especially when it comes to women's wrestling.
Oh, for sure.
And it was such a small moment, but the way she did it just made this huge impact.
Oh,
And
yeah, the way she stood up there in the aisle, just looking like an absolute badass, the
yes,
blood trickling down from her nose.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
man, something else. Now, last but not least, here we talked about her a little bit. Maria Kanellis Bennett.
Smartest woman in the wrestling business,
Mm, I
bar none,
would, I
bar
would
none.
definitely agree.
And when I think about her, when I first saw her, of course, they kind of had her playing the dumb
The
blonde,
the the ditzy
the
character,
ditzy,
like
exactly the ditzy one. But when you get her and um Mike in a room and you watch her start talking and how he just zones in on her because of all this stuff that she just taught, I was mesmerized by that woman. She needs to be in the Hall of Fame too.
oh, for sure. Like she does not get the credit she deserves a
100% she
lot of
does not.
time. But yeah, no, I got nothing but respect for her and Mike. I know, heck, they just recently had some great news of their own here, so that's
Yes, I
awesome
saw
stuff. I loved it. I remember they hadn't broken the news about that they were just going through IVF at the
it.
time, I
Mhm.
believe. And he was actually down here in Omaha, and I actually got to show him a picture of my son. So it was something.
That's so cool.
Although one last Mike Bennett story, I actually got him to crack during a show.
Ooh,
It was actually down here in Omaha, I believe, a match against Jay Fowler,
okay.
and it was right when the Undisputed Kingdom was really going in AEW,
Yeah.
like very first getting going, and Roderick Strong would yell out, "Adam!"
Yes.
Well, there was a time they were both in separate corners, and I yelled it out. I couldn't help myself. I just yelled out, "Adam!" And I swear it looked like he was trying to hide it, but I swear it looked like he was mouthing, "You son of a bitch." But I got to talk to him after the show, and he said, "Dude, you popped the hell out of me." I'm like, "Yes."
Oh, that's great.
Oh man, that
Yeah.
made my night. But all
Oh,
right, now I got some random questions here. Some wrestling related, some not.
okay.
Some nothing to do with anything we've really talked about so far.
Okay.
That's why it's random. So, one question I never really switch its place in here because I just love hearing the stories. Craziest in match moment for you, for like one that you were in there refing, or hell, one that was just on a show that you were running.
Oh, I know I have to have like 20 of these. I want to say, and I can't think of one off the top of my head, but any match that I was roughing with Jason Strife,
Oh,
any of them.
oh, I can only imagine.
Uh, yeah, he was, and he actually had a feud in Midwest All Pro with DeLorean when we were dating, and he tried so hard to get me to break every single time I was in the ring. I mean, and I hated it. And it was like just little stuff that the audience couldn't hear, but I could. And I'm trying to be serious. And he is just being like completely stupid. And he just he
I
would
can see it
always
right now.
yeah, he would always do something to make me crack. I remember one time at Below, I was reffing something, and he wanted me to he was going to do a low blow, so he wanted me to turn so he could push me a little bit, and he pushed me, and he got his hands like right on my butt. We got in the back, and he was like, "Oh my gosh, I am so sorry. I am so sorry. Was that like right? That was like your butt." And I'm like, "It's fine. It happens. It's in the ring. It's whatever." But he was so like panicking that he like got too much of my butt. I was like, "No, you're fine." But he was always fun to be in the ring with because like if he gave you any job as a ref, you knew that he trusted you.
Oh yeah.
So he
Oh
was
yeah.
he was always fun. Um, Joey Avalon likes to try to pop me in the ring too, and he's done it. He did it again at a Below show, and I was doing a count, and of course it was one that was really close to three, and this was when we were in the Sanctuary Event Center. And he gets up on his knees and he looks at me and he goes, "Woman, if we were not in the house of God right now," it is everything in your brain like shush it, shush it, shush it. And he said that he's like, "I'm gonna pop you every time you rep a match for me." So, and he has. Um, but yeah, you get these little moments that just
Oh yeah.
yeah.
And that's me at every show, whether I'm in the crowd on commentary, which I've gotten people doing both. So
Uh-huh.
I I liken my commentary to like the Pat McAfee of my commentary group. Like I'm gonna say some off the wall thing at the most random time just to get like when he called Dominic Mysterio like a dude wipe after you wipe. The
Yes.
one time I was on commentary, they were talking about a second show. My commentary partner made the mistake of saying, "Sounds like a solid second show." I'm like, in my head, I was saying to myself, "You just walked right into this one." And without missing a beat, I just said, "Yeah, because nobody likes a runny number two." He had to stop for like a solid minute.
Oh, that's good.
Oh yeah, I have some gold every once in a while.
Hey.
But all right. Now, as of this recording, we got it shown who are going to be the teams in the Super Bowl. Lord knows I don't got a dog in the fight on this one, but it's still one of the biggest eating days of the year.
Mm-hmm.
What would you say favorite Super Bowl food for you?
Pizza.
I can't go wrong with that.
I mean it's my I would eat pizza every day if I could.
That's
Um,
same.
but yeah, I mean that's my go-to is always pizza. Pizza and beer.
Pizza, and beer. I mean, heck, I'm debating right now because I only got one more can of this stuff, but I might just have to save it for the Super Bowl. I got one more can of
Ooh,
Broken Skull
nice.
American Lager.
Nice. Well, coming from a Seahawks fan, they're married to a Patriots fan, we might need a lot of beers for the Super Bowl this year.
Oh heck, I'm a Packers guy married into a. Most of my in-laws are all 49ers people.
Uh, I am a born and raised Vikings fan, but I've also loved the Seahawks since the second grade. So
Yeah, my wife with the 49ers tried to tell me that if the Bears made it to the NFC Championship to play the Seahawks, that oh, you're gonna have to root for the Bears because we can't root for the Seahawks. I'm like, no, no, for a Packers fan, no, that would be like sacrilege. All right, now everybody, I've talked to a bunch of people. They have stuff that they like before the show and after the show. What would you say would be for you an after show must have? Would it be that gotta have a damn beer at the end of the night?
so for those in Sioux Falls, no. But lately, after every show, is frying pan at 11:30 at night, always having an omelet.
Oh, that sounds good.
Yeah. When I have literally not eaten most of the day because I'm too busy, And you go to, and again, Frying Pan is like one of those restaurants you go to when it's 2 a.m. and you're drunk and you need food.
Yeah.
And most
Soak
of
up
the,
the alcohol and shit. Yeah.
yeah, it's like I'm not drunk, but I need food. So and lately it's just been a tradition for a good portion of the wrestlers, especially ones who are like driving back down to Omaha that night. Um, well, I'll just go to Frying Pan. So that's
Hey,
kind of been our ritual now.
awesome. Now, with the name of a show like I have, I feel like I have to ask this one. Favorite drink, alcoholic or otherwise, or hell, both?
So I was a carbless girl up until a couple of months ago. Um, and all of a sudden I decided it tastes like cough syrup. I don't know. But I am alcohol wise, I am definitely a Angry Orchard.
That's some good stuff.
100%. Um, non-alcoholic, I am a strawberry lemonade
Okay, I can't go wrong with that.
for sure.
I'm a bit of a Dr. Pepper fiend myself. My wife tries to tell me I got a problem. They say, hey, if we got some in the house, I got it figured out. It ain't a damn problem.
Yeah.
But otherwise, it's either Kona Big Wave. I got hooked on that stuff in Hawaii,
Or that.
or this. I actually Stone Cold section right behind me.
That's great.
But all right. Now, last but not least here, best advice you have for anybody wanting to get into wrestling.
Can I say don't?
You wouldn't be the first one to do that.
Um, one thing you really have to learn when you're getting into wrestling, and this is for especially for people that want to go up to AEW, WWE, Ring of Honor, you have to know it is literally about being in the right place at the right time. And you better make sure that when you're at the right place at the right time, you are 100% trained. 100% trained. And it's not easy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, like Jay Fowler, for example, has been doing this forever. I was so excited to see him on AEW. That was awesome. But a lot of these, obviously, a lot of these wrestlers that are in kind of the higher ups of these companies have spent years and years, and I think you have to really be ready to be dedicated to it. It's not something you can half-ass.
Oh, for sure.
That I because I've seen people come and go, and the ones who stay are the ones that are really really dedicated to it and are ready to learn, and knowing that you're not going to be good at anything, but just pick at what you're good at and make sure you're amazing at it.
Oh, yeah. No, all great advice. Now, where can people follow? And I just dropped something here. But, anyways, where can people follow you social media wise so if they don't already have their eyes on you and New Sound Wrestling, they can go ahead and get them there?
Yeah, absolutely. So we are New Sound Wrestling on Facebook. We are also New Sound Wrestling on Instagram, Twitter. I can't call it X, it's Twitter.
Yeah, I can't call it X either.
TikTok. We have New Sound Wrestling on YouTube. We have a YouTube channel. And also, as of yesterday, we now have newsoundwrestling.com.
I saw that. I was actually just on it.
Yes. And it makes it really easy because if you don't have Facebook and you just want to grab tickets fast, there's a really quick link in the corner. You can just grab it. I made that for a reason that I can't mention yet. But I was very, very happy to get a website up and running.
Hey, it can be handy because, yeah, then in a world where social media can get a little nuts and some people want to just steer clear of it,
yes,
but they still want to support their local independent wrestling, they got a way to do it.
Exactly. And I made my own website and it was really easy and I was really proud of myself.
Hey, no, I'd be proud of myself too if I were able to accomplish that. But anyways, that is about all I have. I want to thank you for taking the time to talk to me tonight. It's been an absolute pleasure, and you are welcome back anytime.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for having me on. This was great.
You're welcome. All right, now see if my issue with this fucking button. I tell you, I